Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks. We are the podcast which solves your first world problems every single week. I am Dan.
I am Dom.
And very special guest, Stewie P. Stu is back. In the hizzle.
Ross is still on his world tour of caravan sites.
Is that what he's doing?
Yes.
Is he taking a caravan there or is he just turning up?
I think he's turning up, hoping to catch a as they call it in the caravanning thing, a free bunk.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That's something different.
Yeah. Was this part of his West Country tour, stripping tour?
Yes, but now it's extended to Europe and the rest of the continent.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, good for him. I'm glad things are going well for him. We all need to make money somehow.
Yes. I have my digging. You have your grocering. And Stuart has whatever he does on street corners in the night.
I sell carpets and other wares.
Yes.
Give you a good price.
I do a good price for you, sir.
Speaking of which, Maddie and I, my girlfriend and myself, did a boot fair at the weekend.
Wow. What, selling or buying?
Selling.
How much did Ross buy from you?
And I forgot how horrendous boot fairs can be.
In what way?
Well, people really, really care about pennies.
Yeah, they do.
You know, like Maddie was just selling a bunch of clothes and stuff. That was it. It was just a rail of clothes that we were there to sell, and there were people. You know, some of those clothes were going for £3 or £4, and people were really, really
sniffing them.
Like they were just getting so.
Go on, 250. It's £3, mate.
Yeah,
250.
There was
genuine knockoff Armani, mate. That's £3.
There was actually a point where I considered saying to someone like they were toiling over a pound on a £3 garment, and I can't. You feel like saying, look, you're getting clothes for £3. Really, you want to be the person that buys it for £2?
Is this the hill you want to die on?
Come on.
Yeah.
Although a pound off £3, that's 33.33% worth of discount, which is worth having.
It is, but it was probably a £20-30 top. So, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I'm not against wearing secondhand clothes or anything like that. Like, I absolutely have no problem with hand-me-downs, and you can get some good stuff that's in good condition. Maddie, created her business selling secondhand clothing, so I've got no problem with that. And in fact, while we were at one of the vintage fairs, I picked up my brown shorts, and they were only a couple of quid.
Where were they from?
The
70s?
They're
brown.
I don't
vintage
know.
Fair?
They're brown and they were feeler. So
80s then maybe.
80s,
maybe, but they were really they fit me perfectly.
Is that how you present? Is that how you pronounce it though? It's vintage. It's not vintage. It's vintage.
Is it
vintage?
Apparently.
Oh,
as soon as it becomes clothing, it's like a vintage car, but vintage clothing.
Oh, I had no idea about that.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not against it. But I kind of think, well, you're already here. You're already at this point where you're buying cheap clothing. Come on.
No point dickering on price. I went to a boot fair quite recently because I like to go to
buying
boot
or
fairs.
selling.
Buying.
Really? What? You get up that early in the morning?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Because I like to.
If you can get things down from £3 to £2.
No. I don't dicker that much, but I know the
that
prices.
much.
That much.
What's your best deal?
If I think I once got something that was worth a tenner for £2. Anyway, I troll boot fairs for like vintage collectibles and games and stuff.
Yeah, I did have a little sniff around.
Yeah, because it's always good for some like toys, specifically like collectible toys and stuff like that.
Sex toys, yeah. Secondhand sex toys.
Secondhand sex toys is my my business. They call it vintage sex toys. You have a vintage car, vintage clothes, vintage sex toys.
Vintager.
And there's just people with like entire trolleys. They have like shopping trolleys, and they're just filled with all sorts of stuff.
I mean, mainly it is crap, though. Although the best thing I ever got at a boot fair was a box of broken biscuits.
You have to go early to get the good shit.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Because if you rock up at like 8:39, that's basically when most people who give a fuck have gone.
Yeah.
And then it's just, rubberneckers like yourself.
It's like a weird little sort of world of its own there. Because I mean, like, there were some big sort of surprises. Like a lady and her husband came over and bought maybe a third of Maddie's clothes.
Oh, really?
Like, I think I've got a feeling that she must sell them on or something, because she was sort of asking where Maddie had got them from, and so he was saying, "Oh, you've got a really good eye," and that doesn't really sort of suggest that she's about to take them home. And particularly since a lot of the clothes were in sort of like size 8 to 10, and this lady was
not an 8.
Not no. Her husband was, though, maybe.
Hey, maybe that's what they do. They do it on the sly, eh?
Yeah, maybe
so he can dress up at home. No bother in that. No bother in that.
Picked up 40 quid's worth of vintage female clothes. They went back to the caravan site and had a party with Ross.
Free bunking, I've heard.
Yeah, but so that was sort of like a big surprise. I didn't think that someone was going to turn up and buy so many of them.
Oh, people buy a lot in bulk at boot fairs.
Yeah, and there was just sort of some very peculiar interactions.
Always good fishing gear.
There was a lady who was clearly sort of Romany descent. Right. She had all her hair.
Do I need to check the track this is going down?
No, she was there with her husband, and she didn't really speak English. She came over early in the morning, and there was a particular piece which was like this jacket thing, and that was the only thing that Maddie was like, I'm not budging on that. That's sounds ridiculous. That's a $5. Right? It was a nice sort of like jacket, and she came over early in the morning and kind of waved her fingers around, suggesting that she wanted to pay £2 for it, and Maddie was just like, no, it's £5. And she came back again a bit later with her husband and said, £2-3, and Maddie said no, and they kind of came back again, and then she
with
was,
a knife.
She was kind of she was getting her husband to translate, and there was this really like bizarre moment where I was kind of just building up to this point where I was about to sort of step in and go, it's £5 or go away, because they were kind of like like surrounding Maddie a little bit, yeah. And she's like waving her 3 fingers in Maddie's face, and Maddie's waving 5 fingers back at her, and they're sort of like just waving at each other. And then she said something to her husband. The husband said, please, 3, please. And Maddie was like, no, 5. It's £5. And then there was this moment where, when you can kind of read, even though you might not speak someone's language, but you can kind of read their, like the tone of their voice and their body language. And she kind of turned around and like what I translated it as was, oh bloody hell, just give her the $5. So she sort of like blah, 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 to her husband, and he sort of like, and he went into his pocket and dug out a load of change. And gave Maddie £3. So what she must have actually said was, like, after standing there for like a 4 or 5 minutes, going 3, and Maddie's going 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. She must have just gone, oh, for God's sake, just give her 3, it'll be fine. How did this work? So Maddie was like, no, £5. And they fucked off.
Well, Maddie still had the £3.
See, I was waiting, I was waiting for you to go, the guy just took out a 50. It was like, have you got change?
No. Also, the only place in the world that I've ever been where someone bought something for £3, went to give me a tenner, and went, sorry. It's like, that's fine. She's like, yeah, I normally have change, but we've just started. Okay, I've got £7 in change. It's not like oh God, I haven't got anything here.
Yeah, a lot of people at boot fairs don't have change.
No, when she says,
it's like, you're going to set up a mini shop, you might as well give yourself a little bit of a float. Do you know what I mean?
She said sorry. I thought she was about to, break out a commemorative Queen's anniversary £5,000 note.
I'm sorry, and she just whips out a gun. You're going to have to give me the for free.
No. Although I did get stuck on the M25 today, so it's possible that a curse was thrown around.
Should have bought the bloody heather, Dan.
Knew I should have knocked the £2.
It's lucky, off. Don't you know?
Yeah.
If it's lucky, why do I never look at the salesperson and go, lucky?
They're holding so much of it.
Wait a minute, I said you're at a boot fair. This isn't Lucky Heather at all.
It's regular Heather.
Where are you keeping all the Lucky Heather?
Give me the Lucky Heather and my commemorative £5,000 back, you bastard.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Boot fair experiences there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually attended a boot fair.
I actually made a profit on some stuff I bought at a boot fair recently by trading it in at a well-known second-hand shop. I bought a bunch of gaming stuff, and then I realised I didn't need it. And I took it into a popular
Do we really need anything?
second-hand gaming shop, and
That's my question.
I made
Do
about
we
£20
need
profit.
material things?
It's nowhere near Christmas enough to be asking that question.
Do we need material things? Wouldn't you just be happier going to a boot fair and maybe buying a little piece of well-being for £3 down from £5?
Well, if they were selling abstract concepts of emotions, I would buy them. And I would dicker on the price.
That's the thing, though. Dan was there. Dan was down to his last £2.50 at the boot fair, and he was like, 80s feeler shorts or well-being?
Well,
How about this cache of brilliantly jewelled souls?
Oh,
I don't know.
it. I'm a
really-
millennial.
I'd like to go to that boot fair.
I'm going to be honest with you. With 80s brown feeler shorts,
Well-being comes.
it's absolutely interchangeable with emotional well-being and happiness.
Why? Because you can run around like you're from the 80s and call people a fucking melt.
Yeah, they make me extremely happy.
Or a dry lunch.
A dry lunch.
Try lunch.
That's it. It's a dry lunch.
Dry lunch. That was a very 80s
It was, wasn't it?
slang.
We're going to go watch Millwall West Ham, you fucking dry lunch.
Something like that.
It was that. I think that was the tune.
I was only alive for 11 months of the 80s. So.
But
I was
11.
alive for 24. No, wait. No, I was alive for 12. Because you were alive for 11. I was alive for 12. You were alive for 13.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's all in order.
Yeah, it's all in order.
You're November, I'm December, here's January.
Yes.
There you go. And now you have a little hint of when our birthdays are.
Now all you
So
need is our
listeners-
mother's maiden names.
So, listeners at home, if you want to send us a fancy gift in the months that we've just said, please do.
We'll make
I will always accept Yankee candles and fine perfume.
Have you been in the Yankee Candle shop in town yet?
Yes, I have a girlfriend, and she loves the Yankees.
It was
Really?
horrendous.
I was under the impression that Yankee candles were crap.
No, I don't think so. No.
I smell a fair number.
Just my one there. Maybe Maddie should
Don't
lower
get
lower her standards now that we've been at a boot fair.
well, just don't get the Yankee Candle that says "Morning Dog Ass Breeze," and you're probably all right. You're probably
They all
all
smell
right.
all right.
Maddie's quite particular about scents.
Is she?
Yeah,
How's she put
I've
up
got
with
one
you
like
then?
that.
With that musty man
As
smell.
I call it Odor M25.
Because that's what she wants all candles to smell like, my armpits. It's the only scent she likes.
Odor crap.
No, as you know, I went through an experimental procedure many years ago to remove all scent from my body.
So I could never be tracked by dogs and
I s-
wildfowl.
I smell like a black hole.
A little bit like tin and copper. Like one of those spoons you put in the microwave.
But not, not in the dishwasher.
How is that still coming back to
Because it's still the funniest thing that's ever happened. when I die, my gravestone is going to say, well, you know, with any luck, loving husband, fantastic father, once persuaded Stuart Poirot that putting wooden spoons in the dishwasher would cause them to explode. I could literally change the world. By this time next year, I could have Nobels for peace, for literature, for science, and that would still be my proudest moment.
a very
That you
small-
convince King bullshit. That you can throw up a wooden spoon in a dishwasher.
I just do kind of hope that the irony of ironies is I put one in there and go, ha ha ha, boom. So
You're
right,
just like,
Your grave will be next
right
to
next
mine.
to yours, but about 80 years older.
King
You
bullshit.
should have listened to Dan.
and mine will be next to that one, and it will just have two words on it. Ha ha. And then when we rise from the ground, Stuart with his splinter-fulled face.
Yours will have, loving wife,
What?
Amazing aunt. But that'll be scratched out because you picked up your Greystoke for £2.50 before 8:30 at the booth.
Oh, fucking hell. Do you know what the weirdest thing is at
And
boot
you'd
fairs?
have re-engraved Dom on it with your boot fair bought home engraving kit from Jim's second-hand emporium.
Do you know what the weirdest like stall is at a boot fair? Like the 70-year-old man that is selling like 1,000 different rusty tools.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, do you know what? With the pitch that we were at on
My missus's
Sunday,
dad loves that stall. He looks through it for hours.
It's a bit like Jumanji.
Explain.
Right. I was worried you'd say that.
Oh, here we go.
Number one.
I would just said the word Jumanji.
I
I
just wanted to say the word Jumanji. Because recently I've started saying Jumanji more.
Right.
Because I feel it should, as a word, it's a good word.
Okay.
Secondly, Jumanji, you basically you never own the game, do you? You kind of just look after it.
Right. Okay.
Maybe the rusty.
You're a keeper.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So the guy who owns the rusty tool pitch at Boot Fair, it's kind of like he's Colin. Basically, your girlfriend's dad is going to be the next guy. They never sell anything. They never buy anything. He just gets a bit too close. And the other guy goes, ha ha, fucking swapsies! He's been there since he was 24. He only went in there for a second-hand top-out of Gap. And
They just sit there through the rain and the snow, kept there by some eldritch power.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get that. It's always next to the fishing gear stall as well, the rusty tools stall.
You get a good bacon sarnie.
Yeah, there's always a good bacon sarnie at Boot Fair.
Anyway.
Actually, I had one, and I had the bacon sarnie. You have to have a bacon sarnie at Boot Fair, right?
Yeah.
The saltiest thing I've ever eaten in my life. I don't know what they did to that bacon.
And that's coming from a man who's had a lot of salty
I've had
things.
a lot of salty things. Yeah.
Their special sauce, mate.
You're right. That like there was a guy who was in the pitch opposite us. Right, it was this old boy, and when I say Jim's second-hand emporium, that's because that was what was written on the back of his van.
Oh, he had his own van.
He had his van there, right? It's him and his mate, right? All they did, right? They stood there all day, chain smoking. They were there before us, and we got there at sort of like 6:30 in the morning to set up. And they had got their sort of pitch out the back, right? They were real classic, like old boys at a boot fair, right? And what they were selling, I can give you a rundown of exactly what they were selling. They had a trailer that you can attach to a car.
They were selling that.
Two wheels.
Right.
That looked trailer size, but weren't on the trailer. Just two separate wheels, like bald tired. Bald
Did
tires.
the trailer have wheels on, though?
Trailer had wheels on.
Right, so it wasn't like buy the trailer, get
It
the wheels.
was at least a fifth-hand trailer.
Right.
This shit was old, right?
Right.
And then they had like a really manky couple of like wooden chairs, you know, with that sort of like awful like leather uncomfortable thing that you might see at like when you go to like a castle and you look around in the like a drawing room or something, and there's a couple of old chairs, and then they sort of had a bit of a table there, and not really much else. Like you look over there and you think, God, that is some serious shit. Before the boot fair had even opened, they'd sold the trailer. Fucking sold it to the fruit and veg man. And then saw some bloke wheeling his fucking wheels up the road about an hour later. They sold all this shit. They sold all of this stuff and fucked off at 10 o'clock.
And you're sitting there with designer gear.
Designer gear.
For very quick.
Designer gear on the way, arguing the toss over a quid. They're selling fucking wheels to nothing. How did the bloke who bought them know that they were going to fit on whatever he needed two fucking wheels
They do
for?
know, though. These people that do this thing do know. Because they'll sit there and they'll go, that'll go on my fucking such and such. And they'll go, I'll give you a tenner for that, mate. All right. And then they'll just fuck off because they know it's junk, but they want it because at some point they'll need it.
Yeah, well, you know, they closed the gate to the boot fair and put a sign on the thing, and we were like, oh God, because when I've done boot fairs before, you can kind of leave whenever you want, really. But this one had a gate and was like no exit until midday, I suppose, to stop people, you know, all the people who were there with a pitch from like just driving through crowds of people. Jim, zero fucks given, right? Fucking packed his shit up once he sold his dirty old wheels and crappy chairs that they had sat on all day. Spent all day sitting on them, smoking, these two boys.
It seems like hard work. I'm on Gumtree, and you can get literally I just typed in 2 crap old wheels for a trailer.
Yeah.
So
Gumtree, for anyone who's listening that isn't in the UK, is a bit like sort of like a local eBay kind of thing, like Craigslist kind of thing.
Yeah, I
You could
suppose.
go
But
on
this
there.
is the winner, right? So 2 tyres for £20, so £10 each,
Yeah.
or buy one get one free. Depends how you look at it. They're just normal looking tyres.
You're such a fucking salesman, aren't you? You're selling their shit. It's not even your shit, and you're selling it. Well, whichever way you want to look at it, £10 each, or buy one get one free. It's not at no point is that buy one get one free. It's 2 wheels, Stu, for £20 fucking pounds.
No,
What are you talking about? Buy one get one free.
It's the description that really
It works though, as someone w's gone back into a sales environment the last
Yeah.
couple of weeks.
It's
That
all-
sort of
So
language.
I
just
could
works.
fucking. Do you know? I'll go there. It's £20 for 2 wheels. So it's £10 each, or buy one get one free. To be honest with you, they're worth £500. So it's basically £480 off.
You can't see these. They were never 500 quid. But if you're not going to buy them because they're just 20 quid, it's the description that this chap who is selling it from Whitchurch in Cardiff. You ready for the description?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Tyres are good. No punctures.
What else do you need to know about
What
the tyres?
fucking else do you need to know?
Tyres are good, no punctures.
Fantastic.
Done.
So those boys, I think
They-
they did something quite nostalgic.
There's a trailer.
There's a tra-
No punctures.
No
Off you
punctures.
go.
Yeah, they sold all their shit. They packed up, and then Jim fucking backed out. He's backed his fucking van out into the stream of people, pedestrians, right? Then went, pulled all the signage off the gate, opened the fucking thing, and fucked off.
Oh, can't wait to get to that age, man. Because it's just like, who gives a fuck?
I tell you,
Mowing
gives a
down
fuck.
kiddies.
Not Jim of Jim's second-hand in fucking Emporium. That's
Tell me
it.
it was an F-Reg escort van. That
It was like a really shitty old Luton. Like, because the thing is, if he was
The guy
backing
was
out,
an orthopedic surgeon till he retired, and then went, "Fuck it, I'm buying an old LDV, and I am sticking Jim's Emporium on the back." And his wife's going, "Michael, why are you sticking? Fuck it, I'm retired.
Jim now!
Get me them old wheels that I have said I was going to do." And what you actually saw was the first day of his newfound freedom.
That was him clearing out his garage.
he's got
Next
out.
week he'll be back there with gold bars and shit.
He got home to his missus, dropped 2 blue pills on the bed, and said, "I've still got enough money left to make it rain for you." we're fucking on £2 coins tonight, darling.
Oh, fuck me. Oh. This is what she said to him.
Should we actually?
Fuck yeah, we got a podcast
Yeah,
to
we've
do.
got a podcast to do.
Have we been recording this whole time?
Oh, fuck, you know what? I've got some news which almost sort of like pertains to this.
Almost.
So,
I'm becoming a second-hand trader.
no,
Does anyone want to buy any Viagra?
talking about sort of like, going into a light, like sort of a different world. Remember
Yeah.
a little while ago, we invented the TV show for Ross where he would take his sister's kids and move out to the country, and it would be like a really stark change in his life.
Rustic Rossi or
Rustic
something
Ross or something like that.
Rustic
And then the spin-off was
Ross
Ray
on the Run.
Mears Plant Commando, where Ray Mears
right.
was travelling through time. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember.
Well, Lardy Basto, good old Lardy Basto, tagged us in something ages ago, and I've got to apologise because we haven't really been getting to our correspondence for the last month. I've just changed jobs, and I'm often coming to record the podcast straight from work. Where
I'm living between two places.
haven't got my laptop. Ross
And I'm
is-
never here anyway.
Yeah, Ross is
So
sort
I
of-
don't give a shit what your
Ross
excuses
is
are.
busy.
Ross is sort of here and there, so I haven't had a chance to get.
So lucky that was whatever that was, and not what you
Get to
normally
those.
watch.
So Lardy Basto tagged us in a thing. Says, "Looks like ITV have been listening to See If It Sticks."
All right.
Our Twitter handle, by the way, if anyone does want to tweet us cool shit like this, is at See If It Sticks. And basically, ITV have ripped off our idea with a sitcom with popular English comedian Jack D. And you won't be able to see it, obviously. I mean, I can share this out on our social media channels, but what you can hear is basically the plot
Our
to
pitch.
the plot to Rustic Ross.
Steve and Nikki have moved to the countryside. But the grass here
It was quieter when we lived in the middle of Leeds.
Isn't always greener.
We just seem to be having a few problems where we are.
The dam's got worse.
What's the solution?
Don't buy this house. You ever see the panther? Have you?
This will get you a signal at the top of Mount Everest.
Well, if all else fails, we could move there.
Brand new comedy, Bad Move.
Shut up as well.
Fucking hell!
It is.
Are you listening, ITV executives? I want my royalties in my bank account by Friday.
Jack D wouldn't have been who I'd have chosen to play Ross.
No, I would probably have picked someone a bit younger.
Yeah,
Perhaps Stephen Fry. I don't know.
Stephen Fry.
Is Stephen Fry younger than Jack D?
I don't know, Stu. I just picked a comedian out of my head.
If you were going to have picked someone to play Ross, who would it be?
That'd be
I mean, Paul Walker was the obvious choice.
Russell Kane.
Russell Kane.
Do you know what?
'cause he's from Essex.
No.
That is exactly where my brain went.
He's from Essex.
I'll tell you why I will not sign
whiny
off on.
enough.
I'll tell you why I'll not sign off on Russell Kane,
You don't like him.
because he's fucking shit.
So why is he not qualified to play Ross then?
in an ITV drama as well.
Mate, because as much stick as we give Ross, he's still my mate, and I can't have a bellend like Russell Kane playing him.
Fine. What grudge do you have against Russell Kane then?
Oh, you've picked that scab, haven't
Not
you?
that I'm particularly that invested in Russell Kane, but
Well, he's supposed to be a comedian. He's not funny.
all right, okay, that's all you need to say.
Yeah, that's my primary issue with him. I see his videos pop up on social media all the time, and people seem to share them, and I can't for the life of me figure out why.
I've never found him particularly funny. Actually, when he
I would like Chiwetel Ejiofor to play Ross.
who
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
who this is from Star Wars. What? Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yes,
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
you do know who Chiwetel Ejiofor is.
What has I'm assuming he been in?
Google him.
No, because I'm wondering if I'm falling into a trap.
No, just Google him.
How do you spell it?
Well, that's part of the problem, isn't it?
Whatever you do, don't put me in
Creative.
the dishwasher, it'll go off.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've seen him in loads of things.
Yeah,
He was also in Firefly.
he's got the beard.
He's got the beard.
He's got the same beard as
Slight
Ross.
problem.
He's not from Essex.
He's a little bit old.
He's not from Essex.
wouldn't
Well,
get
where
the
is
accent
he?
down.
Where is he from? Because he's quite well spoken, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, that's the thing. He's well spoken. I don't know if he could put off Ross's Essex boy
Well,
charm.
he's from London. He's from London town.
That's not Essex.
That's
though,
not
is it?
far from Essex. It's next door.
Well, so are we, technically.
Yeah,
Boy,
well,
cowboy.
and I'd be saying the same thing if he was from Kent.
No, we'll have to think on this.
Okay,
Perhaps an American actor could do a turn as Ross.
could do.
Yeah.
Plenty of British actors are going over there.
So maybe we need to get some of the American actors over here.
Yeah.
Or the dude out of Scissor Sisters. I've always thought he's got a bit of a resemblance to Ross.
Good point.
Yeah. I'm trying to have a picture in my head. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
But the guy from Scissor Sisters looks a bit like Stu, but just picture a guy, picture Stu
Yeah.
looking a bit like Ross.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I could play Ross in the film.
You can play Ross.
In the series.
Your first acting role, Stu.
My
How'd you
first
feel?
acting gig. Yeah.
You can be Ross in Rustic Ross.
Well, you can just imagine the run through, can't you? Something to do with sparks, plugs, and a Capri or something.
That's pretty much what we came up for the first episode.
Yeah.
So, have we got a problem, Dominic?
Yes, we do. The problem is tangents.
The problem is the casting of the show.
How do you cast
welcome
a
for-
drama starring one of the members of this podcast? Oh, no, wait. This is from Jamie Linney. Hello.
Hello.
It's good to man with
Hello. It's not spelled like that on here. It says, hello, you tantalising, titty-teasing trio. Oh.
Again, I will point out that this email is from
A while back.
from a while back, but I haven't had a
October the
chance to get
3rd,
to
it says here.
Yeah.
Here's a good one for you. I went out for a run on Sunday morning, turning to run down a slope, fucking slipped on leaves, ankle twisted 2 ways, and thought I'd broke it. Ooh. Lucky it was 2 minutes into the run, so we're still near home.
Although, hold on. Can you imagine if that sentence was slightly different? He sent this back at the beginning of October, and the line was, I've just gone out running, I've slipped my ankle 2 ways, send help.
Here is my location.
Here is my GPS location. Don't
I am
worry.
on top of a mountain because that's the thing he does.
Well, fuck, he's
Yeah.
been eaten by coyotes and dingoes now.
Have you mentioned?
Or
that-
in fucking the North Downs or something.
Have you mentioned that
really
this is from Jamie Linney?
Yes, I have mentioned
right,
from
so-
Jamie Linney. Yeah. Luckily, it was 2 minutes into the run, so still near home. I hobbled back and was really pissed off, as you would be. X-rays showed a bad joint pain with a 2 to 12 weeks recovery. That's a large margin of error, isn't
Well,
it?
on the plus side of this is that at least he's probably still recovering.
Yes.
It might have taken me a little while to get to the message, but yeah, at least this is still relevant.
As you can imagine, I'm gutted as I had a 10k obstacle course due this weekend, but it's not to be. Well, I would be happy because then I'd had an excuse not to do all that running. Your mission is to come up with a way of me or any injured person from being able to train without pain or making things worse. Thanks, boys, from your bald marshal of the mudder. And he sent pictures in of his extremely bruised ankle.
Yeah, that does look pretty swollen.
It does look pretty bad. Can you see that from over there, Stu?
I can see the tattoo of a dolphin just above his ankle.
I don't think that's a dolphin, mate. It looks like a leaf. Like a holly leaf.
I'm gonna. Yeah, that's a piece of leaf. It's a piece of rocket.
He's a healthy man.
When do you ever put rocket in a meal on purpose?
Rocket
It's got a nice peppery taste.
So, yeah, but
goes nice in a
Raises-
burger.
Yeah, it goes
yeah,
well, it goes
yeah,
well
no,
with a burger.
yeah, no, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Do you know what? I went to a large burger outlet that we went to quite recently in Canterbury.
Does it rhyme with good burger?
Yes. And they are doing a brisket burger.
Lovely. I might have discovered that.
Best brisket.
Myself, if I was invited on these weird dates.
It was during the middle of the day on a random Thursday 2 months ago. But
Well,
it
you
wasn't
both
when
need
we
to get
went. It was
jobs.
it was last weekend when I went with Jem. Do you want to come on dates with me and Jem as well?
Yes.
Okay. It comes in a pretzel bun as well. Oh, very good. These are becoming the new brioche bun, the pretzel bun.
I'll tell you what
Are they?
does a good brisket in this town. Korean cowgirl.
All right, let's not start doing the whole we're
Yeah, not
advertising
everyone,
local
not
restaurants
our entire listenership are from Canterbury.
thing. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Oh, are they?
Oh, was it a chain?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway,
But if you're listening, I want free
it was
stuff.
very tasty. Anyway, so we need to come up with
Please
an,
direct it to at see if it sticks.
Send it direct through my mouth.
Yes.
Well, what, I mean,
Turning your ankle while running.
what I would sort of propose is instead of focusing on the recovery aspect of this, because
We're not fitness fanatics.
what we are experiencing at the moment is the first cold snap of the year.
There was frost on the floor.
I had
to scrape my car.
I had to scrape my car this morning as well.
I didn't leave the house until about 3 o'clock. So
You were scraping something else.
I was covering frost off my knob after I hung it out the window all the
Oh,
Why?
because you were saying something else, and I like to go in it hard.
Grow up.
Dan's looking at me with like a face of half
I'm
disgust,
just
half amusement.
I'm just amazed that you got frost on it. Mine's always really warm because it's so close to the core of the earth.
At all times, you have to have like a 5 mile hole drilled. with a hoop under
It's like wherever I go, it's like scale extricts.
Ew.
Um,
That's where I turned my ankle, crossing the behind him. I went into Dan's dick ditch and turned my ankle.
so what I would propose is that given that we're starting to get a little bit icy now, I'm sure that everyone in this room and probably everyone who's listening to this podcast at some point has slipped over in leaves or ice.
Never.
Yes, you have.
That is a lie.
That is of course it's a lie.
That is a damn
That's
filthy
the
lie.
funny part. Now I've had to explain the joke, Stuart, so it's no longer funny. Piece of shit.
Stu, have you've slipped over before?
I've done it multiple times on multiple surfaces.
Yeah.
And not even whilst drunk as well.
Not even whilst drunk.
My house is actually on to actually get anywhere in town without driving. You have to walk down a hill, as you guys both know.
Yeah.
So if it snows or it's icy, getting down that hill has always been a nightmare.
Sledge.
Well, yes, we did use the sledge down the hills near my house, yeah. But if you want to walk somewhere, like if you're walking to school or something in the winter, it's always slippery.
If it snows this year, I'm going to be attaching the nuke to the front of the sledge.
Yeah.
The nuke is Dom's girlfriend.
No,
Oh.
the nuke is my dog.
Oh no, sorry.
He's an Alaskan
Lord.
Malamute,
Oh.
and therefore,
I tell you,
Dreadful sledge.
I'll tell you what. Now we're all professionals in our line of work,
yes, ditch digging.
kind of, right? Shoes nowadays do not have the grip underneath that they used to.
Well, you see, actually, something
It results in more slippages.
that I noticed. Are these your work shoes?
This is what I wore to work today.
Okay.
This is what I was working in.
Did you buy them from a boot fair from fucking Peter Pan?
Those are a bit. Sorry, I was looking under the table there. If I was standing a bit far away, they're a bit snazzy.
They're
Too jazzy.
jazzy.
They're an interesting pair of shoes. Where did you get those from?
They were a present
From
from the other half
oh right,
after the initial pair were ruined.
by your vomit.
It wasn't by my vomit.
Oh, it's by no, let's not do that there.
Let's not do that now.
No,
Just
see,
in case she listens.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that I can identify what the problem is here. Is that you have got quite fashionable shoes, right? Fashionable.
That's possibly the kindest thing you've ever said to me.
Fashionable is never functional. See, what I did is I bought Dr. Martens.
Oh shit! Look at the grip on them.
They are non-slip. It gives you a little rundown.
They're
on the-
Dr. Martin Brogues.
Yeah, man.
It gives you a rundown of the things that they're good for. They're non-slip on oil, fat,
Just described all of meat.
acid, petrol,
Yep, still meat.
and alkali resistant.
That's me.
Yeah, they're the tits.
So I'm.
Doesn't say ice though, does it, Dan?
It doesn't say ice. No, it doesn't. They can literally survive me being dropped into a vat of acid, Joker style. But as soon as the temperature dips below 0, they shatter into a million pieces.
That's Dr. Martin's great weakness. Dr. Martin's kryptonite is ice and snow. You could walk through an oil rig fire, but you can't walk on a patch of ice.
Yeah, but they're quite grippy.
All joking aside, though.
Or joking aside.
I've got to say that I do feel like a tit sometimes walking around hospitals at work because I'm the only knob. Because most healthcare professionals wear Crocs and similar shoes, like
Comfy shoes.
comfortable
Shoes,
running
yeah.
shoes and stuff like that to work. So everyone is walking around in these basically like slippers and running trainers and stuff like that. But people who are walking around dressed like me in a hospital tend to wear shoes like you've got, like nice flat bottom shoes. So you get that sort of as they're walking around. I walk around all hospitals and I'm that guy walking around going,
That sounds a bit like a pig. Stan's got 2 piglets strapped to the bottom of his feet. I don't like touching the floor in hospital.
well, that's the thing with Dr. Martens. There's a very peculiar breaking in process for the shoes. You have to wear pigs on them for the first 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm just about to go onto the donkey stage.
And well, you know what the final stage is, don't you? Puppies.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically German
You
Shepherd
put those
puppies.
inside the shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That way you get a fine, smoothed out fur lining inside. Just have to scoop out all the entrails. Anyway, we're going to try and solve people slipping over in the wet and the snow and the cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
I've got my first sort of solution. This isn't really a solution.
Is it going to be flamethrower boots? Because mine is flamethrower
It
boots.
wasn't going to be flamethrower boots. But
So I'm just going to put it out there.
we'll put
Flamethrower.
a couple of abstractions out there. You go flamethrower boots.
Flamethrower boots.
I'm going to say first thing I do when I get up in the morning and my car's icy, start the car, put on the heated wing mirrors and rear window, because obviously that melts it all off pretty quickly.
Yes.
So I think if that could be sort of rolled out further,
Onto pavements.
underfloor pavement heating. Yes.
Well, you're both wrong. It's shoes that are really mini hovercraft.
That's actually interesting because the reason that you get less friction when you're on ice is, you know what? You know why you slip on ice?
Because you're already wearing mini hovercraft.
Because no, because your shoe or whatever it is that you're putting on the ice melts like a very fine layer of the ice, right? And so you get water on top, and the water is what slips over the ice. It's not actually your shoe slipping; it's you slipping on the water, slipping over the ice.
Yes.
So that is interesting because if you hovered just a centimeter above, then you wouldn't be heating up the ice and melting it, and so it would make it less slippery.
I'm talking about getting rid of the ice altogether, though. So I'm talking about fucking. So which one was the one in Robot Wars that had the flamethrower on top? Sergeant Bash. Yeah, he had the flamethrower on top, I think.
How would that help Jamie's leaf situation? Though you're just going to be starting a forest fire.
Well, it's only going to be on the road, so.
Well, I don't know where Jamie was running.
Oh, that's true. If he's running in the woods, that might.
But we're running through the park.
Oh, then you could have sonic blasters on the feet, where it puts out like a shockwave that like atomizes the leaves. So as you're walking along, you'd be like putting out some fat beats with a PH as well. Be like bwong, 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 bwong. Bit like that sound that Boba Jango Fett's bomb makes.
Wow. I wonder if I can find a soundbite of that.
Yeah.
You're talking like when Thor hits the ground with his hammer, or when Hulk smashes the ground with his hammer, or when
no, it's
Superman smashes the
destructive.
ground
It's
with
more
his
just like a sonic pulse. You know, that sends out vibrations that break.
Is that
up
why
the
Sonic's called Sonic?
Sonic is called Sonic because he's supersonic.
Here's one of the most satisfying sounds in all of Star Wars.
Seismic charges. Stand by.
Only good bit of Attack of the Clones there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. It's almost as good as
almost as
Tractor
good
beam
as-
on the Death Star.
There's some good noises in Star Wars, isn't there?
Yes.
Do you know what I've always had a little soft spot for is I think it's in Attack of the Clones. There's when they're on.
You like an awful lot of bits of Attacks of the Clones.
Yeah, when they're on. when Dooku's around the table with
The Separatists.
Yeah,
And the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he basically sits there for like half an hour going, and just says no, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
yeah, and also same table. There's the guy that's like the head of the Flymen that are attacking everyone.
Geonosians.
That's it. No.
Yeah, Geonosis.
No,
Yeah,
because
they were-
Geonosis was where the clones were made.
No, that's Camino.
Oh yeah, fucking hell. Oh, it's been a long day, Dom.
Geonosis of the Flymen.
No, you're right, because he speaks like.
Yeah, they go.
Yeah, that's actually quite a good noise as well.
Oh, they're sucking dick.
Oh, God.
How are you sucking dick?
I'm not very experienced,
well.
Dan. But that's how he told me to do it.
So you think that would sort of obliterate all ice and disrupt leaves?
Well, no, for the ice, you'd have flamethrower shoes. For the leaves, you'd have sonic shoes.
If you don't, well, okay.
You tend not to get ice and leaves at the same time,
It's true.
as a general rule.
That is true.
It's like putting winter tyres on your car and all-weather tyres on during the rainy parts of the year.
Which is all the rest of the time.
Yeah.
What if you had like a oh shit? What are those things called? That a gyroscope.
Yes.
You had gyroscopes in your shoes,
That kept
And
you
it-
completely balanced.
and it kept you completely balanced.
That'd probably snap your ankle.
I was about to say that'll keep your shoes upright.
It wouldn't keep your body upright though, would it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just imagine these fucking horrific industry, these fucking wacky shoes, just like going, breaking people's feet off.
Yeah, wear the wrong shoes to go bungee jumping. Just as you turn upside down, your entire body contorts into a ball.
Fucking shoes taking over your body. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, okay, good point.
That wasn't well thought
That's
out.
like a bit of a wrong trousers moment.
Barry Wallace and Gromit.
What about if you just had, sensors in your shoes
That would balance you.
that would well, you could basically have like some sort of anchoring system that went out. So if your shoe,
Sort of like little drills that come out.
Yeah.
like, and it went like a Batman grappling hook, like into the ground, and so if it moved sort of too fast in some particular way, it would, because that's what happens when you slip, isn't it? That it goes unnaturally out of the way.
The problem is that your legs would stop, but the top of your body would flop back. Unless you
But not if
yourself.
as your foot hits the ground.
No,
it
because
anchors itself.
it can't react. It has to react. It can't preempt. Otherwise, you'd just be walking around all the time with your feet going,
Yeah, but that's the
ripping, and the fucking tarmac costs will go through the roof.
This is all a bit of wrong trousers again. You using your self-stabilizing boots to rob a fucking diamond exchange. Like, seeing you go up a building.
Yeah. So you'd have to have something that keeps your body steady as well, because once you go like clonk, you're about to slip over, it goes clonk, and then you just go.
What you could have is
you just fucking face plant either forward or back.
what you could have is you could have like a brace, like the Michael Jackson moon boots where he does the tipping over.
Oh, okay.
Which are relaxed all the time, and then if it feels that you're about to go, it just
hardens up.
yeah. You need a lot of hardening up.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's all right.
Yeah, that works.
I was trying to think of something else. People could just go have ice skating lessons and just be able to skate everywhere when it's icy.
Yeah, it doesn't solve your problem though, does it?
I much prefer the under sidewalk heating, under
Well,
pavement
because that would melt the ice, and also
Filament everywhere.
yeah, and also the problem again with the leaves, it's not the leaves that are slippery, it's the water mixed with the leaves.
because dry leaves aren't slippery. They're
No.
crunchy and fun.
Crunchy and fun, yeah.
They are crunchy and fun.
They are crunchy and fun. Like a Rivita.
Well, I don't know if Rivita is fun. It is crunchy though. I'll give Rivita that. I don't know if they're fun. Perhaps with a bit of Marmite and a bit of ham on.
Ham and Marmite.
You never had ham and Marmite?
Oh.
It works.
Had cheese and Marmite.
Oh, it's a similar sort of deal. Saltiness of the ham, saltiness of the Marmite. The smooth, yeasty taste of the Marmite. The hammy taste of the ham.
Okay.
It all works.
All right. Well,
It's not as weird as
The
like...
piggy taste of the Dr. Martin's ham.
That's how they make that wafer thin ham, don't you know? People breaking in their Doc Martens.
Just stepping on them.
Yeah. They flatten the pigs out until they can be cut.
yeah, yeah.
It's not wafer thin ham, it's wafer thin pig that they just put in a packet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh god, wouldn't that be awful if we'd never figured out how to carve animals and to get a piece of meat wafer thin, we just squashed that animal? Wouldn't that just be the most horrendous thing in the world?
Be incredibly inefficient.
It would be
A
incredible.
bit like the meat industry. Anyway,
It's very efficient having everything all the time in the supermarket.
Mm.
but I'm talking inefficient energy-wise.
Yes, yeah. It is. We've done lots about that on the podcast.
We have done. We did a lot about that.
We go for underfloor heating. It's it. We've gone through all these zany ideas, developed one. We've taken one to R&D stage, and then we're like, oh, fuck it. Let's just go for the underfloor heating all the way through the planet.
Yeah.
Well, we've got underfloor heating all the way through the planet. We should crank that shit up sometime.
Oh, mate, you could just drop filaments to the magma layer.
You need a thermostat.
You're going to frack the
Frack the
Earth's
crust.
core.
Frack the crust because there's magma underneath, and just have magma running under the pavement.
Oh,
That's your weekend.
This is going to be Volcano
Frack
all
my
over
crust.
again. Who was in Volcano? Was it
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan?
I'm pretty sure it's Pierce Brosnan. And
Going to a
I
popular
weirdly
internet
had in
movie
my
database.
head that it was Harrison Ford, but
I want my family back, Volcano. Oh, family.
I'm almost convincing myself it's Pierce Brosnan. If I'm right, that is such.
What's
an
your guess, Dan?
obscure
I
bit
thought
of
it
information.
was Harrison Ford.
You're both wrong. It was Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like if you crossed Pierce Brosnan with Harrison
It
Ford,
really
you
is.
get Tommy Lee Jones.
And Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle was in it.
Yep.
Did he play the magma?
No. He played
The guy's versatile.
Yeah.
he played Emmett Reese, which I'm assuming is the guy that goes, "Damn, volcano," because it was the 90s.
No, it was that Emmett Reese was the talking dog, wasn't it?
There was no talking about volcano. And a bunch of other actors I've never heard of
Before or since.
before or since.
Fair enough. Tommy Lee Jones. God, of course it was.
The other I Want My Family Back guy.
Straight off the back of The Fugitive.
Yeah.
That was a good film.
That's a brilliant film.
Do you know what I watched the other week? Con Air.
Yeah, so I watched that the other week.
Yeah.
And Gone in 60 Seconds was on the week before that.
Dear Casey. It's
So
just that entire film is just inexplicably good. I don't know why, but I love it.
There's now another man I trust.
From like John Malkovich's weird villain
Yeah.
with like a street name, but he's obviously quite posh in it, to like
Wasn't it
that
called Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus
Yeah.
the Virus. Cyrus the damn virus. And Steve Buscemi's weird child killing guy.
Yeah.
That's odd. There's a top list of actors in that film. Ving Rhames is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking John Cusack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chief O'Brien
Chief
from
O'Brien, I was about to
Star
say.
Trek: The Next Generation.
Smash up his Corvette, didn't they?
Cole Meany, that's his name.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of people.
Obviously, the obvious one, Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, yeah. Well, it goes without saying. Everyone knows it's Nick Cage.
Yeah, well, in fact, some people might not. Some people might not.
Yeah. Eleanor. Although that is a different film.
No, that's a different film. At least he doesn't get dressed up in a bear suit in this one. Bunch of women.
Right, so we should probably start looking to wrap up. So we're going for underfloor heating, aren't we? Just
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
basically going to
Sci-fi dystopia with
set-
magma running
set
under the ground.
explosions everywhere.
Yeah,
just
but
to
make
heat
the
ground.
top of the thing glass so it looks like you're walking on fire. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, right.
Okay, no, I'm down.
We're basically turning the entirety of Canterbury into
Well,
a Sith
Actually,
base.
do you know what you could do?
What?
You wouldn't actually necessarily have to
Have that-
choke on your aspirations, Dominic.
Don't talk about your aspirations, director critic. Stu hadn't watched that until he came around my house and I went, fucking watch Rogue One.
Yeah, it's true.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was worth the wait.
You wouldn't necessarily have to keep blowing up the fucking magma.
No,
what
you
you
just-
could do is you could send
Valve.
water down, pump it down into the Earth's
Pump
core,
it.
then pump it back up, and then it's going to be hot.
You just singing Black Eyed Peas over there.
Yeah,
That's out of character.
that was very out of character. I'd like to keep him guessing, Stu. Who is this man with his black-eyed peas, but also his dark side references?
Okay, so that's that solved then, right?
Yeah.
It has to be pretty hot to evaporate water in leaves, but fuck it, we're all going to be wearing Doc Martens. Wait a minute, are they heat resistant?
They're magma resistant, didn't you know?
Yeah,
That's on the inside.
That's the thing. You'd have to wear Doc Martens, not bloody Robin of Sherwood like I've got on.
They are pointy.
They are pointy.
They are quite pointy.
I fucking love these shoes, man.
Show me. Put them back up again. They are extremely... You look like you're in a panto. You look like you're either playing Aladdin or, as he said, Peter Pan. I'm going for Aladdin. Right, anyway.
I've lost my marbles.
Have you?
It's a Hook reference.
Smooth. Smooth.
Should we wrap up? We need to think of a name for this podcast.
Ooh.
Great Sidewalks of Fire.
Goodness
Ooh.
gracious, great sidewalks of fire.
Oh, I could win by default here.
You could remember the default.
Pernicious
My
pavement
percentage of
something.
naming to the number of times I've been on is quite good.
It is, whereas ours is terrible.
Yours is bad, Dom.
I've named more than Ross. Dan's, I think, named the most. We were going to keep score at the beginning of the podcast, but
Yeah.
100 plus episodes in, it's
Yeah.
gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
Or we could make a reference to your old experiences at the boot fair.
Oh, that's true.
£5, £3, 2 o'clock rock or something.
Oh, you're going for like classic.
It seems to be in my head, just anything kind of 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird.
Oddly, that's where I felt like I was at the weekend. Holy shit.
Let's do the time.
Vintage.
Vintage. Dom picking up his vintage sex toys.
I quite like goodness gracious, great sidewalks of fire.
I do like that as well.
God damn it. Okay then, well that's
I
that.
also just kind of want that idea to become a reality so I could just walk along fire and just pretend I'm a Sith Lord or something.
Yeah.
Just turn to you and be like, General Veers.
General Veers. I'm right here.
So standing in the store the other day, I'm working back in retail, by the way, everyone, for Christmas. And
Like the way you worded it sounded like it was a Christmas present to you. Like, what did you get for Christmas? I'm working back in retail.
only for Christmas, sorry.
Oh right.
Only for Christmas. Only for the Christmas period.
The look of disappointment as you opened that little card as a present. What's inside? Money. Or maybe a lottery ticket.
A retail experience for one.
Retail experience for one.
You thought it was going to be a spending spree at a high class like department store. It actually turns out it's a job at game.
Get shouted
Anyway,
at by a 9-year-old
so
boy.
I was standing in the store. I was opening the store with the assistant manager the other day, and someone came through the door, and I went, our first catch of the day. He didn't know what I was talking about, so I had to explain it all and play it, and he was like, I've never noticed that bit before.
Really?
I was like, yeah, it's like a...
What?
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I
with
do
my
too.
mates. And he's like, I'm going to use it now with my friends. I'm like, please do.
It's catching.
And the other day, when we opened the store, he went, our first catch of the day. And I went, you've used it correctly. Well done.
Nice. So we need your problems. You can send us your problems by heading to www.stickitpod.com, where you can find links to all of our social media channels. You can send us your problems through a handy form in the website, and really you can just send us anything you want. That's the easiest place to go. If you do have a moment, please do like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of those things. And if this is your first time listening to See If It Sticks, please subscribe to us, because it's all good shit like this, just without Stu here.
Oh.
We'll be back on Thursday.
Yes.
For this week, I have been Dan.
I have been Dom.
And I've been Stu.
Genovese!